The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness. For he is truly his brother's keeper and finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee. Ladies and gentlemen, the Church of Lazlo has begun.
Yo, how are you?
Hey, I've never been better in my entire life. How about yourself?
I am great.
Glad to hear it. You know what today is?
It is Friday.
And that means?
We give away the trip for 2 at 2.
That's exactly right.
Boom.
So, if you were
I'm also
qualified...
not feeling well today.
You're not?
No, I got a sore throat.
Yeah.
I don't usually get it. I know you talk about it. I feel like my uvula, like I can feel it. My throat gets constricted. You talk about that means it's coming on like you're going to get sick.
Yeah, well, also, sometimes if I pass out and I sleep on my back, I'll snore, and then that hangy thing...
That's the uvula,
right?
right?
Is that what you're talking about? It gets swollen, and that's how I know I slept on my back and didn't
How long
wake
does it take
up.
for that to
A day,
clear up?
a full day and a half sometimes.
Mine's been bothering me for like 2 days.
Yeah, but if
Right?
you got the
Yeah.
throat thing here, it's coming.
Yeah.
Which I have. Do you have the lower back pain at all?
No, it's really just this, and I can feel it.
Yeah, it's probably coming. It's a change of weather, too, though,
I
because
had
last
myself
night it was
convinced
cold.
yesterday it was throat cancer, so...
I think it's the change of weather. Because I felt like crap yesterday, and then I realized that's because the weather changed. I'm like an old woman. Yes, drastically, quickly. Anytime
Let's
it
do
tells my
this.
sinus-
Codename bought a stripper a Taurus.
All right. So if you're qualified for this week's trip for 2 at 2, which is your chance to see the Raconteurs here and then see them there, you know
Right.
the deal. So here's the first phone number that we pull up here at random. Are you ready?
Sure.
Last 4 digits, 8879.
The last 4 digits, your phone number, 8879. And you have 9 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. I
Yeah,
don't care.
10 minutes to call us. 576-7965.
And then if you call within 10 minutes, you get a pair of tickets to see the Raconteurs here, and then you go see the Raconteurs in New Orleans, right?
Yep. We're just going to have to verify that it's you, which Snow Cone is waiting by the phone. And I think last week we got a winner like in our,
the first one.
first try, right?
Yeah.
So, there you go. I went and saw a movie last night.
Please, tell me more about it.
I went and saw Hustlers. Remember we talked to Gray Drake about that, the Jennifer Lopez movie?
Sure.
People were saying it's like the Goodfellas.
Right, I
for
heard
women.
it's good.
Yeah. It got great reviews, and I'd heard the director, she was on something I was watching or listening to, and I was like, you know what, I do want to see this movie. So I went and saw it, and I just have one thing that I want to ask. Because this is based on a true story. It's based on a story that was written up in an article, and I guess when everyone saw this article, it was such a big deal that people were like, oh, we got to make a movie out of this. And that's where it came from. So these strippers, do you still call them strippers? Dancers? Sex workers?
Sex
whatever?
workers.
Yeah.
That's what you always correct me.
Yeah.
You always correct me
they're
and say
specific-
sex workers. I
Yeah,
don't really understand.
They're specifically strippers, but I don't know if
That's
strippers
a sex
is a bad,
worker,
yeah,
right?
It is a sex
They
worker.
make money for sex.
Yes, but I don't know if stripper in and of itself is a bad word anymore. You know what I mean? Sex worker is preferred over
can't hear this.
prostitute or hooker.
Exotic dancer, is that the
Maybe.
correct
maybe,
nomenclature?
Maybe. But hey, so they're strippers. And
Hook?
they... All I knew about this story, because I didn't want it to be spoiled for me, was that they found some way to rip off Wall Street guys because they were in New York and there was a lot of Wall Street guys that came into this club, right? So I thought maybe they were going to like organize some sort of a heist and go steal money from a rich Wall Street guy or go to his house. I didn't know the full story. That's not it. What happened was, at least in the movie, they made this little drug concoction. It was a mix of ketamine and Molly. And they would go out and find these guys like at a bar, these Wall Street guys. And one girl would go up and start hitting on him. Then they'd drug his drink, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Then they would wait for the other girls to get there. And they'd say, oh, look, my sisters are here. Let's party. Now he's kind of messed up. They say, let's go to the strip club. That'd be fun. Let's go there. Like, not knowing that they work there. So, they say, let's go to the strip club. Let's go party there. Okay, go to the strip club. Now, at this point, he's kind of messed up, and then they start trying to run his credit cards and getting as much money off these credit cards as they can. And in the movie, at least, one of the things they were doing is asking them while they're, half awake, like, what's the last four of your social? And, what's your PIN? Stuff like that. So that they could go call the credit card company and say, all right, what's my total balance? How much credit do I have available? And then can I use that right now? Then they would steal all this money. Now, I don't know what the total was, but in the movie, at least, they're talking about one guy, they get 50 grand from this guy and 15 grand from this guy and whatever. It was a lot of money. They did this for a long time. So they get busted. Now, I am ruining the movie here. Spoiler alert.
Okay.
In the end...
Sounds to me like the movie's ruined itself. If this is as exciting as it is.
I didn't think it was exciting at all.
Okay.
I got to be honest. I did not think it was a good movie. And my girlfriend, who is very...
You really don't have to drug me.
Right.
And...
I'll do it.
Just say, empty out. I'll do these things with you if you empty out your credit card.
You
I'll be like,
drag my corpse around. Right. Just tell me what you want. Oh, what are the last 4 digits that we're looking for right now, Snowcone?
8879.
8879. If you're qualified this week, and the last 4 of your phone number, 8879 calls.
5 or 6 minutes left.
576-7965. So, they get busted because a guy finally... What happens is none of the guys wanted to report this stuff because they're embarrassed.
Sure.
They're married, they have girlfriends, they're embarrassed, whatever, so they don't say anything. But one guy, I think he was an architect, he says, I'm going to say something about it. He tries to call the cops. So the cops originally are like, oh, you got ripped off by a stripper. Forget you. And they literally in the movie, at least, they're hanging up the phone.
Welcome
like,
to
okay,
America.
buddy. Right. But they get a couple of people, and one guy says, like, I've got proof because I recorded her on the phone. Because he had called. It's like, why'd you rip me off? Why'd you do this to me? So he says, I've got proof. So the cop's like, all right, let's investigate. They investigate. They bring these women in, and then they're like, all right, are you going to rat on each other because you're all in a lot of trouble here. So one of you should probably take a deal and rat on the others. So one of them agrees to rat on the others.
Okay.
At the very end, they do that thing where they throw up the scroll and it says, all right, here's what happened to these people. So it says that one of them got, I think 2 of them got a couple of weekends in jail. One of them got 4 or 5 years of probation.
Yeah.
And I think the other one just got some form of probation. The point is, I'm fine with double standards and all that. But if you steal that much money and you get busted stealing that much money,
sure,
is that normal to only get probation or to only get a couple weekends in jail?
Probably not.
Right? Again, I am okay with double standards. I cannot emphasize that enough. I do think men and women are different. And
the law shouldn't be different.
I get it, but...
The law is blind.
So if it were men, and it's hard to find...
Are you okay with double standards on color or race?
It's hard to find a way
Shouldn't be okay with gender.
Yeah, like I'm okay with giving minorities a leg up and giving them an advantage in certain situations and saying, all right,
in the court of law.
Then
that's what we're talking about.
But
I said
yes. I see what you're saying, but it's hard to find a reverse analogy to try and give an example of, well, what if it was men doing this to women, right? Because you don't really have strip clubs for girls are different, and so what would be? How would men drug women and then steal money from their credit cards?
Well, I think the drugging is one part of it, and then the other part of that is just I don't know what it is, straight theft. And then probably some sort of wire fraud to the
it's a
credit card company.
Felonious amount of money that's being stolen.
Right.
Absolutely.
On top of the drugging.
Right, on top of the drugging. Just the fraud, wire fraud, international wire fraud in some cases probably.
And then you're drugging them to get them to sign these credit card receipts
like
and
Cardi
stuff.
B's wife's story, yeah.
Which she's in the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's in the movie. So, we talked about it when Cardi B said something about it on Instagram last year. So, I don't know. I thought that seemed like a light sentence, but then at the same time, I also thought, I'm fine with it. Isn't that weird? I was like, yeah, I'm fine with it. Like, you know what? It happens. God, you go to the strip club, you get ripped off.
Panderer.
It happens.
Such a panderer.
No, I'm saying like it happened to me. Like, I get it.
Were they ordered to pay the money back, restitution, that the guys get the money back?
They didn't really go into that. I don't think so. I don't know where the money would come from. I think they'd spent most of the money. I don't know if the credit card company... Most of the guys would not admit that they were victims of it.
Yeah.
According to this, at least. Because they didn't want people to know that they'd been victims of, being ripped off by a stripper.
Sure, well, that happens to a lot of victims.
Absolutely.
That they don't come forward because they're...
men who are
because
raped.
of the stigma or of the crime.
Right.
And the way that they're dealt with and seen as less. And then they know that their assailant won't get any time anyway.
So let's say that you ran a club.
We can't be doing these types
Let's say you're a guy, you're the general manager of a hot nightclub, and then these girls come in, you drug them, you give them ketamine and Molly, this little mixture that you've made, recipe of your own that you've made in your kitchen.
Sure.
And you give it to them, you spike their drink, and then you run their credit cards and take all the money off their credit cards, everything that you can get while they're half passed out, and then try and get them to sign the credit card receipt, while they're barely conscious. So you're a guy who runs a nightclub, and you do that. I would think that guy gets in a lot more trouble than
of course.
probation.
Of course.
I also just didn't think that the movie was. Like,
I've heard
that's
it's
it.
good.
I heard it was good too, but I expected something bigger. Like, oh, so you're drugging these guys?
Compared to Goodfellas,
Right,
it's
they
setting
talked
really
about how it's
high.
Goodfellas. I was like,
pretty good.
Goodfellas is damn near perfect.
All right, last chance for this person who's qualified.
4 numbers are 8879. You have 2 minutes left.
8879.
If those are the last 4 digits of your phone number and you got qualified for this week's trip for 2 at 2, we're looking for you.
5767965.
This is your last chance. So you want to
I would
play?
just think if I was one of these girls, I would have just found an easier mark like you. Just buy me that Taurus.
Right. Well, that's how they start off. They start off doing that, just trying to get guys to give them money. But after the crash, after the recession, guys weren't spending as much money. They weren't coming into the club as often, and so they had to figure out a new way to make lots of money off these Wall Street guys. And then I also I looked at online and someone had commented, said, I don't feel bad for these Wall Street guys. You know, they caused, I thought, okay, wait, that's not fair either. I understand the whole not liking Wall Street or saying that they caused the financial crash, but
you don't know that guy individually.
We don't know that guy
Right.
individually. We don't
Right.
know these people or what their stories are. And at least one of the guys in the movie was saying, one of the guys who called the cops, he's like, hey, when he called the stripper, he's like, look, that was my mortgage payment. I don't have a lot of extra money. My wife left me. My son's autistic. I need this money. And that's what he was saying.
Right.
So, and they're like, just get off the phone. Don't make it personal. You know, just take the money. I think you'd get in a lot more trouble for that. Did you watch any baseball? Are you still watching baseball?
Yes.
Low Laz? Are you rooting for the Astros? Or were you rooting for the Astros?
Well, I have to tell you.
I know
I don't
we're
know if
talking
I
about
should
baseball,
tell you.
but
Are the Brewers still in it?
No. I don't know if I should tell you.
you put money on the Astros.
No. I was rooting for the Yankees and the Dodgers.
Okay. That's okay.
Because
Good series, right?
Nick said if it's the Yankees and the Dodgers, the way that the dates worked out and everything else, when I have my kids and when I don't,
Oh, you could go to a
he'd
game.
give me World Series tickets.
Ah.
And now, because it had to be the Yankees
be cool.
in it, and they had to not have home field advantage. Was the only way it worked out with me having the kids on the right day and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So now Kershaw comes in and gives up 2 dingers. Now I can't go to the goddamn World Series. I didn't want to tell you because, I don't know if he offered you the same thing.
No.
All right, we're on to the next
All right, you
4
ready,
numbers.
ready
here.
for the next number? Let me grab one here. Hold on.
I got some right here. You want to read it?
Oh, good. Yeah, grab one.
All right, the last 4 digits are 6414. 6414.
All right.
6414. If those are the last 4 digits of your number, call now. You'll see the Rockin' Tours here, and then you'll also see them in New Orleans. Why? You want to talk about baseball?
You got to, I was just curious if you watched, and I don't
Did
know.
you watch?
Yeah, well, I was watching the. I'm kind of rooting for the Astros.
I don't like the Astros.
Why though? Because of the history with the Royals, or you just don't like Houston, or
I just don't like Houston. I'm rooting for the Yankees. I like to see the Cardinals go.
me too. I don't know. Sorry.
I know. I think it's, but I was talking to somebody else. It is kind of nice with, I know Houston, not necessarily, but usually it's these teams on the coast, be it San Francisco, the Yankees, the Mets, the Red Sox. It's nice to have a Midwestern team go
Yes.
and be really good at baseball and win the World Series a lot. I don't root for St. Louis. I don't know anything about it. I've been there once in my life, but I like to see a Midwestern team go do it.
And it's a baseball town. They love baseball. They've got a great team. It would be different. I think if Kansas City didn't have a baseball team at all, I would probably just root for the Cardinals, honestly. But I don't because we have a team.
Of course.
But since the Royals aren't in it, I find myself
I'm pulling
rooting
for
for
the
the
Yanks.
Cardinals. Huh?
I like the Yankees.
Yankees, yeah.
the
I
Yankees.
saw some incredible
I
statistics.
mean, I don't
about
root for them
them.
during the regular season, but right now, just watching all those guys hit all those home runs, I'm a fan. What's the goddamn number again?
But I think Snowcone's on the phone with someone right now. Do
Is
you
it
have
them?
a winner? Did you?
Is that the winner? It is.
Oh, good. Oh, God, did you hang up on him?
There you go.
Hey, who's this?
Are you there?
I'm here.
Hey, who's this?
This is Corbin.
Corbin, you like the Rockin' Tours?
I love the Rock on Tours.
All right, good. Well, you're going to go see him here, and then you're going to go see him in New Orleans. Snowcone said he already you verified him, right? You vetted this guy? All right, Corbin, let me ask you a question, Corbin. Did you always start listening? When we switched to the 2 o'clock hour, did you start listening at the 2 o'clock hour, or did it take this trip giveaway to get you to listen in the 2 o'clock hour?
I have been an avid podcast listener, but I started listening after this contest started.
Boom! So it worked. So
yeah.
normally you wouldn't be listening at this time. You'd be listening to the podcast.
I had to take a late lunch break just to listen to this part. So, yeah, I'm doing it.
See, look at
Love
that.
it.
I told you it'd work, you sons of
works.
bitches.
It's
All right.
working.
Hold on, man,
Hold
okay?
on, Corbin.
Thank you.
This is the Church of Lazlo on 95 The Bus.
Flashing with paparazzi involved in an incident.
These infected monkeys.
This is Headlines on the Church of Lazlo.
Yo! Sugar Wiener.
Yeah? You talking to me?
Of course I am.
You ready to talk about the news?
I'm ready for you to keep me updated and informed.
Nah, kind of a slow news day, but let me start with something here.
I like those boots, by the way.
Who are you talking to? Oh, not me. I was like, I'm not wearing boots.
Yeah.
How's this for a headline?
You like those boots?
I can't see it. Oh, yeah, those are good boots.
Yeah. Keep those on. Just keep them on.
You know, our friend Jason.
Jason who?
Jason, the record person, Jason?
No?
Yeah, you know Jason.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, I've gone through the Rolodex in my head, and I know.
Yeah. So he just sent me this.
Blonde-haired fella?
Yeah.
All right.
He was in a music video in the 90s.
He was?
Yeah. Did you know that?
No.
He was in a music video. Snowcone, do you know what music video he was in the 90s?
I had no idea.
So Jason, this is
I'm going to
this
guess
guy
the
that we've known forever.
Sugar Ray video.
No. It was like a 90s.
Just because it has frosted tips.
It is the Frosted Tips. That's
No,
what.
it was a 90s alt pop band. It was like a Third Eye Blind wannabe band, one of those kind of
What was
bands.
the name of them?
It's something big. No, they might be
might be
giants,
giants.
is what Susie says. No, it was something big. I'm going to find out right now. I'm going to text him. But he just sent me this headline, and I love this headline. I don't know if it's true or not, because it's just this one website that has the story, but it's from today. Florida man smokes meth. Okay.
Yep.
Snorts coke. Okay.
Sure.
Takes Xanax. Sure.
Yeah.
Love it so far.
Passes out. Okay.
All right.
Wakes up. Sure.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Masturbates in hospital, according to police.
Yeah.
That's
sounds
fine.
That sounds about right.
What's wrong with that?
He's a science teacher. He was taken to the county jail on one count of possession of a controlled substance without a prescription. As per jail records, he was released after posting a $2,500 bond. He's a 44-year-old. I don't know what age, what school it is. Well, it said somewhere the name of the school. I feel like it says, it's a middle school. A middle school teacher.
So he wakes up, he's high, and he masturbates in bed. Yeah. It's his bed. I mean, he's paying for it.
That's true.
Upon examination by the doctor,
Where's the
deputies
lie?
overheard him saying he'd taken methamphetamine and cocaine before school. It has not been confirmed whether or not he taught any students that morning. When he came to lunchtime, he popped out to the Burger King on West Jefferson, where he took Xanax and passed out. Quickly, an ambulance was called, which took him to the Capital Regional Medical Center, with police not far behind. When the county deputies arrived, they were given a sunglasses case belonging to him contained 2 torchlighters, a rubber ring, a bag, about 25 Xanax pills, crushed remains of an unknown pill.
Oh.
I'll test it for you if you need to know. Following the arrest, he's been placed on administrative leave without pay. Next week, it will be recommended whether or not he's fired or, suspended. Or that seems like you probably get fired for that. School.
He did it at school.
And if it was...
But he shouldn't get in trouble for masturbating in a hospital.
No.
Yeah, that in and of
I
itself,
thought about it. I didn't do it, but I thought about it. You ever done a sleep study?
Oh, right. Yeah, a lot of my family has.
Right.
Yeah.
They put up... What, I can't say that?
Nah.
But I thought about it. Like, I don't know. This is what I normally do. But then I was like, you know what? Just skip that step.
Yeah.
So I didn't do it.
Yeah,
But
and then
I've
they're like, do you always have this much trouble falling asleep? You're like, no. No, it must be that I'm in a strange place. I'm like, oh, can we give you something to help you sleep? Sure, you can help me. There's someone here who will help. Yeah, that's
That's a good Florida man.
That's a weird rule, or is it a rule? That's a weird.
You should
scenario.
be able to masturbate in the hospital.
Masturbating? Does it matter? Like if you have a room to yourself, like if you have an icy room to yourself, then definitely. If your bed is right next to someone,
What about a sleep study where you know they're watching you, but you're in a room by yourself?
Sure, it's a study, right?
No, I shouldn't be asking you though. You're the guy who masturbates in a hotel room with his parents.
Aren't you studying whether or not you want to see what I'm like when I sleep? What a normal night for me is like.
Right.
So yeah, I think that would be fine. Although
And
I understand that you might not want to because you know
masturbate in
that
the
they're
backseat
watching
of a
you.
car with your parents driving.
You say I do. I did 30 years ago. But you say I do like I will again on Sunday.
You're a person
and I did
who
last
did that,
weekend.
so you're a person who does that. You do that.
Okay, let's get to the news.
But you do that, right?
Let's
Like you've
get to
done
the news.
that. You've done it. You do it.
They weren't in the car when I masturbated in the car, and then the
You
bedroom.
said they were. You said you were driving all the way to Florida or Pennsylvania or something.
Well, okay, I thought
and
you
then
were
you
talking about church.
masturbated in the
in the hotel.
and in the car.
In the car, as I recall, we were talking about in the church parking lot, which was different. But let's get to the news. That's not news. That's old news. Joe Biden made a gaffe.
He's gay.
During this LGBTQ
Is Joe
town
Biden gay?
hall.
Tell me the truth.
No.
Okay.
But people are pissed at him for this.
Why?
I don't know. Listen to the audio and tell me what they say that it's a gaffe, but then they say that it's inappropriate that he jokingly pretended like, oh yeah, I am coming out of the closet. And then he walks over to Tucker Carlson and pats him on the shoulder. And I guess at some point he pantomimed or something like he was going to kiss him. People are like, oh my God, this is Joe Biden in a nutshell. This is why he needs to not be a candidate anymore.
Number two, it's really important that we in fact begin to educate people about what's going on. Because, for example, when I came out and when I publicly stated, well,
that would be news if you.
I got something to tell you.
I kind of figured it out a while ago.
Yeah, but hey, Tucker, or was that his name?
There's
Tucker's
nothing
not
wrong
in trouble
with that.
for saying
That
that.
sounded like Anderson.
Anderson, I mean, I knew Tucker was wrong. Anderson's not in trouble for saying that.
There's nothing wrong with what he said.
Well, I didn't notice it. I certainly didn't notice it, and I didn't think, that's going to go down as gaffe number 4,782 in this campaign. No, I didn't think that. But then I saw some of the headlines. I thought I missed something, judging by the headlines. I really thought, like, oh, man, what did I miss? When did this happen? It must have happened before or after, and they've caught it on tape. But no, they're talking about the same thing that I saw. And, like, here's a headline from Slate, which is obviously very liberal. Joe Biden play acted like he was gay at CNN's LGBTQ town hall. He also pretended he was going to kiss Anderson Cooper. Oh, okay.
We're going to...
Okay, lighten up.
Right. We're going to do it again.
It says to prove the depth of
We're
his own
going to do it
emotional
again. We're
concern
going to
for
eat
queer
our
people.
own, and we're going to do it again, and Trump's going to win. We're going to eat our own. We can't stop doing it.
I certainly didn't have... I certainly
And I'm not
didn't
saying
notice.
Biden's the guy. We just can't stop doing it. We can't stop eating our own.
I didn't... and maybe I really did miss
And
something.
the
Maybe there was a part
Republicans
of it
on
that
the
I
other
did miss.
side, there's another side to it. The Republicans on the other side, the truth of the matter is they know that some of the stuff that Trump does is crazy, right? But they're like, man, what do you think about that? They're like, I'm all in.
Oh,
they
they're
just
totally
stay
in.
together, right?
They're totally
We
in.
refuse to do that. And I'm not saying you have to do it to the level if you think someone's breaking the law or being a criminal. But you really don't have to jump on everything and be like, this is the moment that Biden lost the election because he joked around with Anderson Cooper. Like, stop it. Yeah. Stop it. That's not real.
Well, Liz Warren had a good moment. She had a viral moment in a good way because someone asked her about what she would do if she was approached on the campaign trail by someone who was old-fashioned and said, I just think that marriage should be between one man and one woman.
Thank you for being here. Now, let's say you're on the campaign trail and you're approached, and a supporter approaches you and says, Senator, I am old-fashioned, and my faith teaches me that marriage is between one man and one woman. What is your response?
Well, I'm going to assume it's a guy who said that. And I'm going to say, then just marry one woman. I'm cool with that. Assuming you can find one.
Assuming you can find one, Dick. You piece of crap, man. No, I'm just kidding. Good for her. That was a good moment for her. I guess people liked it. And all right, great. I did see someone wrote an article, a very liberal person. I'm not going to name drop her here, but she was saying, and she says a lot of controversial things that liberals are like, are you really liberal? Or are you working for the other side? Oh, I tend to agree with her. But she had said something last night about, before this town hall, she's like, look, this LGBTQ town hall is a bad idea. Because, she said, all the independents who are not in the same headspace as a lot of people on the left are about trans rights and gender norms and all those things. Yeah. This is only going to potentially turn them off, right? So if they flip through and they see this and they see them talking about trans rights or gender norms or whatever, and they go, people want universal bathrooms or whatever. Like, that's a thing that they can't get their head around, and they're not there yet. because she's saying all the Democrats basically agree. So you're all in there. You all agree on LGBTQ rights. There's very little that you're going to disagree on, if anything. So all you can really do here is harm yourself by creating potentially a soundbite that turns off independence. And I have to say, I met a couple last summer. We were talking about the election. A couple, a husband and wife, and they were talking about how they had voted for Hillary and how they don't like Trump, and they're rural Democrats, or whatever. And he had like a NASCAR shirt on and the whole deal. And he said, I'm a working class Democrat. He said, but the one thing where the Democrats lose me is the whole transgender and the bathroom thing. He's like, they got to stop with that. He was like, they just absolutely have to stop. Now, that's obviously anecdotal evidence. It's one person that I heard that from. But this, what this journalist was talking about, it certainly relates to him. And he claimed he's, sort of an independent because he tends to vote Democrat and he doesn't like Trump, but that he's not on board with that. So when she said that, I thought, well, that might be true. I don't know. And what is the benefit? And not everyone showed up, right? Yang didn't go. I don't know why he wasn't there. I don't know if he gave a reason why he wasn't there. And then
was Tulsi there?
Bernie wasn't there, but obviously I think he's taking it easy right now. I don't know if he gave an exact reason.
Is he alive?
He's alive.
Okay.
He's alive. And then Trump gave that big
he had a heart attack. Is he still in the hospital?
No. He went home that day.
Later,
or the next day. Yeah, they showed him walking up to the house. And, Trump had this rally that was supposed to happen in Minneapolis, and the city of Minneapolis said, you still owe us money from the last time you were here, so we're not going to let you have this rally unless you give us the money that you owe us. And then Trump said, this is ridiculous. The Secret Service is supposed to take care of this. They never did this stuff to Obama or anyone else. These are obvious left-wing mayors who run these cities. And Trump lost Minnesota last time, but it was close. And he, I guess he thinks he's got a shot at winning it this time around, so he wants to be in Minnesota. So anyway, he still has his rally, and the Trumpers are the people who are wearing the red shirts now. They're not changing. There's nothing that could happen in this. They're all in, and they've at this point they've invested too much. They've argued too much. There's no good way now to just say you were right after all the passionate debate and arguments they've had with people on the other side. They're not just going to say you're right. What he did was illegal. And this, so
it's now an extension of their ego.
Yes.
And if Trump is wrong, then they're wrong. Their ego's wrong.
They're in.
They can't admit
Forget it. Hey, no matter how bad he is, your guys are worse.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what it tends to break down to. And Trump, what they love about Trump is, boy, he doesn't read from teleprompters and he doesn't think about what he's going to say before he says it. He just says it. And sometimes he even cusses. Man, they love that.
Was never considered smart. He was never...
Sorry, he's talking about Biden. Says Biden was never considered smart. He was never considered a good senator.
Never considered a good senator. He was only a good vice president because he understood how to kiss Barack Obama's ass.
They love it. I don't know.
He makes a good point.
Well, what is Mike Pence doing? What is everyone that works for Trump doing? And I don't know, what makes a good vice president as opposed to a bad vice president? They don't talk about that in the media all that often. Is this person a good VP? Is this person a bad VP?
No, you're right.
They don't get talked about much at all. So I don't know. Was Biden a good VP?
Yeah.
Was he a bad VP? It seemed like he was fine. They got along.
When you think about Biden, you think about Obama's term and what he did, what he accomplished. And I'm sure Biden helped with that, but you kind of consider it under Obama, right? It's not...
Sure, but that's because he was VP, whether he was kissing his ass or not.
He was his confidant.
Yeah.
He was his guy.
They're supposed to be partners.
Hey,
that's my guy.
The end of this discussion, I'll make the decision, but I want to bounce it off you. I picked you to be my vice president because I think you are a smart guy that I can bounce this information off of. So does he get a little credit for what Obama did? Sure. Does he also have to pay the price for what Obama did? If you think it was wrong? Of course.
Remember
that's the way it goes.
I know it's hard to keep these all straight, but do you remember the white guy in Florida who used the stand your ground excuse after killing that unarmed black guy over a parking dispute? No, this was over a parking dispute.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy was unarmed, but he claims that he was coming at him or whatever.
There's video of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was already found guilty. So the jury found him guilty of manslaughter back in August, which I didn't even see that headline that they'd found him guilty.
I think we talked about that.
Did we? But he got sentenced.
Mr. Drake, I'm going to find you guilty. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty. I'm going to sentence you to 20 years in the Department of Corrections with all credit for time served.
20 years. That's pretty good, right? Seems like someone because we've seen a lot of those people who get off with the stand your ground defense. This guy did not. Not only was he found guilty, but then the judge sentenced him to 20 years.
We've seen people just walk into another person's apartment and shoot and kill him and get 10 years.
True. 10 years, yeah, that's true. Boy, I'll tell you what you don't want to do. You don't want to testify at one of those cases.
No.
You don't want to do that. Note to self, if a cop is on trial, keep your mouth shut.
Far away.
Yeah, I'm just going to stay away from that, especially if it's in Texas. Anywhere, yes. I'm going to stay far away.
I didn't see anything.
This guy's 49 years old. He had engaged in an argument with this person's girlfriend back in 2018 over this parking spot for handicapped people. Someone didn't have the proper permit, so she had stayed in the car with the couple's younger children, and he went in the store and with his 5-year-old son, and then when he came out, we've all seen the video by now. This should jog your memory. Girlfriend's in the car, the guy goes inside, he comes back out, they're fighting over this parking spot, he kills him. Well, he got 20 years, so there you go. We mentioned this yesterday, but it was kind of a breaking story when we went on the air about Giuliani's associates getting arrested. Did you see their mugshots?
No.
It's pretty great. Their mugshots... It's almost exactly what you would expect them to look like. But these two guys are accused of some campaign finance violations, including funneling money to super PACs illegally, money from, I guess, Ukraine and even maybe some money from Russia as well. Sure. And not only did these guys, what were they? They were clients of Giuliani's, right? Because Trump said when asked about it, like, they're his clients, didn't he? Or a reporter said they're his clients, and he goes, oh, well, then they're his clients. I don't know, whatever. Who knows?
Confusing.
We don't know anything
really
about
confusing.
it. It is confusing.
Yeah.
So, but they were arrested, and when they were arrested, they had one-way tickets. One-way tickets to Vienna. No. Look, maybe you were going to buy your ticket when you got there to come back. But
and Barr had been told the night before they were going to get arrested?
Yeah, so I think they knew that they were...
so Barr was told, and then they found out.
Sorry about that.
So they were trying to get the hell out of Dodge.
Former New York mayor's financial dealings with 2 clients are in the spotlight after prosecutors say those men tried to flee the country Wednesday. Lev Parnas and Igor Fruman helped Giuliani dig up dirt on Joe Biden and his son Hunter. Parnas and Fruman were charged yesterday with funneling foreign money, some of it from Russia, to a super PAC that supports the president's reelection.
Look, this is an example of if you are still wearing the red MAGA shirt, you're just in. Because at this point, you at least have to acknowledge that Russia, the Ukraine, that they were trying to help get Trump elected. Like, that's very, very clear now. And if Russia or some other country
Shep
had been
Smith out of Fox.
No way. Would he quit?
Really?
I just got that.
Oh, boy.
Shep Smith leaving Fox. He announced on his Friday
Abruptly
show
departs network,
that after more than 2 decades of Fox News, he was stepping down as chief news anchor and leaving the network.
Wow.
So we're going to assume that he was sick of it, right?
Or that he got fired.
Or that Trump said, get him out of here.
Yeah. I mean, Trump was attacking him pretty hard, and he was the one semi-voice of reason, right?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, although lately there's been a few, at least people talking about Syria on Fox News going against Trump on the Syria issue. Yeah. So we all know now that it's not okay to ever take a picture in blackface.
I love you guys. The text line's great. Lazlo, you're weak for sneezing.
Yeah, because you used to say that about me.
No, because Trump said it.
Yeah, Trump said it.
Yeah, and then you started saying
I said
it.
you're weak because
agreed.
you got scarlet fever in the year 2000.
But you also you agreed with them.
It's like
about
you're walking around here with polio or something.
You agreed with them about the sneezing thing, and that it showed weakness, especially when you're supposed to be on the air. You're supposed to be doing something. So we all know now that blackface no good, right?
Huh?
Oh,
can't do blackface. And the Prime Minister of Canada obviously was the most recent.
Yeah, he
one
got away with it, right?
Well, did he get away with it? We'll see what
Seems
happens.
like it.
They've got some elections coming up, and one of the head conservative guy who they just found out is a dual citizen. What did you hear that whole story? You probably don't follow Canadian politics too closely. He's been going after him for the blackface thing. But a guy who is running for sheriff in South Carolina, it's Colton County, South Carolina. This guy's running for sheriff. He opened his campaign
in blackface?
Well, almost. By addressing some mistakes that he's made in the past. You know, he just wants to be open and get it out there.
I'm not perfect, and I wish I can change a thing or two. As a 16-year-old, I received a ticket for not having my driver's license in my possession.
Okay, there's one. No driver's license in your possession at 16. That's no big deal.
I've been married, divorced, and remarried.
No, I don't know. Okay, you running as a Republican or a Democrat? I guess that doesn't matter now anyway. Yeah, Trump's got a few of those.
I've lost my temper and been reprimanded at work.
Okay, so you yelled at work. I'd like to know a little more about that. You got reprimanded for How did you lose your temper? Did you break
Who
stuff?
cares?
Did you hit
Shut
someone?
up, you pussy.
All of this, I think, is forgivable.
I've been in fender benders that were my fault.
Oh, fender benders are your fault. Everybody's in fender benders.
And about 10 years ago, as a young police officer, I attended a law enforcement Halloween party dressed as ruthless drug kingpin Big Meech Flannery. Today, we understand that type of costume is troubling to many.
And also, one last thing. About 10 years ago, when I was a police officer, I went to a police officer's party in blackface.
He dressed up as Big Meech?
Yes. Have you seen the pictures of him?
Wow.
It's pretty amazing. And the fact that he's going through stuff like, I've been in some fender benders. I yelled at my wife once. I did forget to sweeten the iced tea within 20 minutes of it coming out of the microwave.
Wait, hold on a second. Does he pull off the picture, though? Does he?
I mean, you tell me. That's him. Oh, and also I went to a policeman's party dressed in blackface. I was playing drug kingpin Big Meech. What's his name?
Big Meech.
Big
I
Meech.
think I'm Big Meech.
Big Meech. I don't know his last name, though. Big Meech something. He just said it. I've only ever heard him as Big Meech. But, what do you think about just getting it out there? You putting it out there.
Hey, what did I tell you when we first started working together?
Air all your dirty laundry.
If you've done anything weird, wrong, whatever, just get it out there.
But didn't
Say it.
Liam Neeson kind of prove the opposite of that?
That's true, yeah. And he wasn't running for anything.
No, he just
said, hey, 25 years ago, 30 years ago, I had a racist thought, and I feel bad about that. And they're like, whoa, maybe you should
Well,
be
people
canceled.
did come to his defense. And by the way, they'll never be able to use it against him. It's out.
That's true.
I'm not saying that what you say about you, what you say about you will not be met with scrutiny. What I am saying is at least it's you saying about you as opposed to someone on the news channel or someone at a different radio station, whatever the case may be. Just what it is that's yours, and then you take all the power away from everybody else.
Yeah.
What about in the Me Too movement, the guy who did Supersize Me, right?
Mm-hmm.
He just said, hey, and sent out a letter that said, I'm a bad person.
Oh, Morgan Spurlock?
Yeah, I've done all these things. Boy. And then sometimes I would do this just to keep I'm going to go ahead and take some time to reflect. No one remembers that letter.
No, but that was after he'd been accused of stuff, right? He did.
No, he did it first.
Oh, okay. I thought he got accused of
And then
something.
people were like, oh, this is who I'm talking about, whatever. He wrote a letter, just like, here, this is me.
But
when you think of the Me Too movement, you don't think of him, do you?
But because this cops knows that this picture's out there, does it change anything that he's saying? And also the fact that he's running through this list of other stuff he's done. I've been in fender benders that, some of them are even my fault. When I was 16, I forgot to bring my driver's license with me. Oh, and I dressed up with a bunch of other cops as a black dude in blackface at a policeman's party. Sure. Like, that's different. I feel like that's a little different. We've all been in fender benders, most of us.
Yeah.
We've all forgotten our driver's license, run into the store at some point.
He's framing
Not everyone
it as
has been in
small
blackface.
discretions.
Right. Just let me give this list of stuff here that I've done.
Small things.
Oh, and also 10 years ago when I was real young, yes, I was a cop. I dressed up in blackface, okay? Mm-hmm. But I was Big Meech, holler at me. It was a party. I know now that hurts feelings, including Meech.
Why does he sound like a Southern woman chef?
You tell me. You tell me. Did you not think that he sounded a little,
It was the lisp. He had the lisp. Don't do that.
What?
Sunfast just pulled a Biden off the air.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
what are you talking about, Biden? I said, didn't you think he sounded a little bit like, I can't think of that guy's name.
You did the hand gesture.
Oh, no, I was thinking of, God damn it, Hangover. What the hell's his name?
Zach Galifianakis.
Zach Galifianakis.
Oh, his brother,
Every
Seth.
single thing he does.
It's
when
his
he
brother, Seth. Yeah,
whenever he's doing this character, like in the campaign.
Yeah.
Daddy, if this is about me wearing Crocs to Mom's funeral, I'm sorry. I've told you that before. That's what he said.
I'm not perfect, and I wish I can change a thing or two. As a 16-year-old, I received a ticket for
Listen to me. As a 16-year-old, I received
not having my driver's license in my possession. I've been married, divorced, and remarried. I've lost my temper and been reprimanded at work. I've been in fender.
I just get so angry at that copy machine. But they told me, calm down. And I said, I will. But I want to run for sheriff. And they said, well, you got these pictures of you out there in blackface. And I said, so what? And they said, you can't do that. And I said, says who? And they said, the Prime Minister of Canada says you can't do that. And I said, this ain't Canada, it's South Carolina. I'll do blackface. Hell, I use the N-word openly at work. It's South Carolina. They say, you can't do that. You got to make a video. So I'll make a video. And look, the truth is, I said I was in those fender benders. I don't even know if I was ever in those fender benders. I just assume I was. But the point is, we all do bad stuff. Nobody's perfect, okay? And it was Big Meech. I can't emphasize that enough. It was Big Meech. And there was a black girl with me at the party, and she didn't say nothing at the time. But I know now that hurts people. Just like I hurt that copy machine when I lost my temper at work. It won't happen again.
That's well done, sir.
A guy wants to lose weight, a lot of weight. He weighs 560 pounds, so he finds a personal trainer guy, and he says, help me lose weight. And the guy says, all right, I'm going to help you. But the way that he helped him, I thought, is really intriguing because we've all heard of the casino deal where you call the casino and you get on the no gamblers list. What's that called? Bets off or whatever?
Bets off, yeah.
Oh, man. And that's like permanent. If you call that, because I remember threatening to call and pretend like I was my friend one time. He's like, don't do that. It's not funny. I play a lot of poker. You can really get someone banned. It's not cool.
Yeah.
And he was really angry about it. Because if you don't know, if you have a gambling problem, they've set up this thing where you can call and then the casinos won't let you in. Your name is flagged and I don't think you can ever get into a casino again. So this guy wants to lose weight. So what does his personal trainer do? He says, I'm going to put you on a list so that you can't get into any fast food restaurants.
They have that?
No, so it's not like a list like the bets off thing, but he had to go around and hand out
like a
flyers.
Police computer where they're all like, just put his name in. Kentucky Fried Chili, I'll talk to the same person.
He had to go out and hand out flyers. He went out and told people, like, here's the flyers. This guy is not allowed to buy food here. He's not allowed to eat here. Do not serve this man. And so it's there's like that Seinfeld episode where he says, I'm giving you this girl's phone number. Don't ever give it back to me. No matter how much I beg, no matter how much I plead, don't give me the number back. I don't want to call her again. It's kind of like that. Obviously, it's not legally binding, but he's going around saying, this guy says now that he doesn't want to eat at these restaurants, so don't let him. Well, he lost like over half his body weight by not being able to go to these restaurants. Yeah.
Each year, I take one person for free and try and change their life. With Dibsy, I didn't know him. We'd never met each other before. I seen him come into my company, and I'll be honest, I'd never seen a human as big.
It definitely worked. It was used as a deterrent, so I didn't go to it.
Did you try and get into these places?
No.
Did you say, I'm not that guy? I'm not that guy.
You didn't have the moment to go, we're not letting you eat your band. You never had that?
No.
It made you not go?
Yeah, I just didn't even attempt to go. It didn't bother me no more.
He didn't even attempt because he thought, well, I'm on the list, so there's a chance they're not going to let me in.
That's right. But then if you go in, they're like, hey, you're the guy who can't serve you.
Aren't you the fat bloke? You look like him. I'm looking at the picture, mate. 560 stones. I don't actually know how much a stone is, but I assume it's a lot.
Is a stone?
I don't know. You have to look that up. That's definitely stuff I don't know. I think it's more than pounds, though.
Let's see.
But that would be embarrassing, knowing that the flyer could
pounds.
be there.
One stone is 14 pounds.
Okay, so he didn't weigh 560. So he weighed 560 pounds. Did you guys see this homeless guy who just grabbed a kid and smashed him into the curb?
What?
Smashed him in the driveway?
Yeah. What'd the kid do?
What? Nothing. Just being a kid. This homeless man comes up and picks up this kid and smashes him into the ground. And his brother's out there, or his friend, I think it was his brother, runs up to his dad and says, Dad, this homeless guy just smashed my brother on the street. Whatever, right. And so Dad says, let's follow him. So Dad gets in the car, follows him, and calls the police. Follows him for a few blocks. Police finally show up, and then as he's talking to police, the dad said that he could overhear the homeless man saying that he was bipolar and maybe something else.
You heard that scream, you knew something serious was going on. It was a kid that was picked up and smashed to the ground.
Portnoy saw the suspect, who he says was shirtless, and followed him for more than 2 blocks towards Lefferts Boulevard.
His first words out of his mouth, I'm bipolar and something about kill the kid. I wanted to kill, I could have killed the kid.
Yikes. Well, luckily they caught him, and he chased him down, and the dad didn't, personally try to attack him, because I feel like you guys would probably attack the guy.
If a homeless guy grabs your kid and throws him on the ground.
If anyone picked up
it's
a kid and throws him into the ground,
it would be tough.
I don't know that you could wait for the cops to get there.
No, of course
You're just
not
following
a
this guy
chance.
on foot. I think you're probably going to get out of the car and try and beat this guy's ass. Well,
plus I got 2 kids. So I feel like all 3 of us beat his ass, right? Like once that happens, then it's like, all right. I really think the mentality would be, say he picked up the oldest kid or the youngest kid. I feel like me and the other one, whoever it is, now you're fighting all 3 of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that stops quick.
But don't you think you just go red?
Yeah, but I also think as I do that, I think the other 2 do as
they're
well,
gonna jump
right?
in too,
Yeah, exactly. Right.
But I can't imagine just politely calling the police and following them.
Then I have two final stories here, and we can wrap this up. Kind of, like I said, kind of a slow news day, but I thought of Lazlo when I saw this story. This guy's a firefighter, and he's a former NFL player, And he just got married. As a matter of fact, here's a picture of him and his wife by the fire truck. Looking a nice couple.
He's a
right?
former NFL player, now a firefighter?
Yeah, former NFL
What's his name?
Former NFL player, now a firefighter. He's 30 years old. A firefighter played in the NFL, has been diagnosed with ALS.
Oh, come on, man.
Just
Why
1
would you
month.
do that?
Just
Why?
1 month after marrying the love of his life.
Slim.
Long
Why?
before he
Why?
was trained to carry a fire hose.
Why? Why?
I'm telling you this
I
story.
told you
This
I'm
is a
already
news-
sick.
it's
My
a
arms
news
feel
story.
heavy. My arms feel heavy today. I'm already sick. My throat, I think I might have throat cancer.
He's been
His
drinking.
name's Eric Stevens. It says that he was a captain at University of California Berkeley football team where he played from 08 to 2012. His
should have
athletic
sex with
abilities
me
would lead him
soon.
to move to St. Louis
Probably
to
gonna
sign with the
die.
Rams as an unrestricted
You don't wanna
free
go-
agent
You don't
after his
wanna leave that
graduation.
just hanging out there, do you?
He got ALS
Be
at
weird.
30?
Yeah, that's when it happens, man.
Hold on. But I thought that they thought that NFL players, football players, might be at an increased risk, right? Because it seems like there's a disproportionate amount of players. So they think that CTE or head injuries could have something to do, could play a role in the development or onset of ALS.
I hate
but
you.
the fact that he got it, don't most of those guys get it later, like in
No.
their 40s? No?
Maybe.
So the NFL players? Man, he just got married.
Why would
too.
you talk about ALS?
It was a headline. It was a headline. I saw this headline. I thought, oh, man, that is crazy. And I thought for some reason that I couldn't remember if you
That I was like
wanted to be a firefighter or knew something about
ALS?
Berkeley or, of ALS. I knew that there was, for some reason, I saw the story and it reminded me
You know
of
what it says? This is absolutely true. If you go to some sort of Veterans Affairs type of website, right?
Yeah.
If you go in and you kind of put in like what you have, like be it anxiety or I don't know, skin diseases or whatever the
Okay.
case, right? You put in all these different things, and then it'll tell you like whether the armed forces thinks that they're responsible for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you put in the dates that I was in the military and ALS, it just says
It says what?
It's on us. You don't have to
Oh,
if you
yeah.
got it and you were in the military during these
Well,
days,
at least
these
you
years.
know that then, right? I mean, that's got to help.
Like what? What does that help? That's
You know, they'll buy
it's
you a
our
they'll
fault.
buy you a wheelchair or something.
Yeah, look, it's
Right.
taken care of.
Look, can we just cure this already? This is not okay. I know that it's rare, but it's not rare enough. It's not rare enough. And the fact that
But don't
they
bring it
just
up on a Friday.
Yeah,
What are
when
you
I've been
doing?
drinking good whiskey,
Yahoo
you
News
did
brought
bring it up.
Okay, that's my job.
You brought it up to bring me down. I already told you I thought I had throat cancer.
Yeah.
I think I smoked too many cigarettes while I was in L.A. I drank whiskey. Now my uvula's swollen, and I can't raise my arms. I'm dying over here.
One time I went on vacation, drank too much whiskey, and had a swollen uvula for 2 weeks. Thought I was dying, took it out on a coworker.
All right, sounds different when you say it.
Okay, a wedding planner has died after
Good.
eating
All right.
fish cake so hot it burned his throat. That's the headline. Wedding planner dies after eating fish cake so hot it burns his throat. First of all, I don't know what fish cake
What
is.
the hell's a
I'll
fish
be honest.
cake?
I don't know.
Like a crab version of crab cake.
Like a
Yeah,
crab
sure,
cake.
okay.
There's, we don't have money for crab.
Man, I'm good at
I
crab
admit that I
cakes.
substituted cod
I
for
hate
crab in the
crab
crab cakes.
No one hates crab cake.
I hate crab
Really?
cakes.
Out of
Oh,
your
I love
mind.
them.
Oh, I hate them. And I like seafood. I really hate them. I don't know what it is about them. They're like
The breading or something?
like potato pancakes. Like they have that same type of whatever it is in there. I don't like
Fried.
that.
Yeah. Well, this guy died.
Yeah, but it's like no, the taste. There's some. What do they do to mold them? What do they put in there? You don't know
It's
that it's
fried.
a texture. I
It's
don't
fried.
like the taste.
It's crispy on the outside and then kind of soft and bready.
But it's
in the
like I
middle
feel
and-
like it's the hush puppy thing. In
Yeah,
the
same
inside.
kind of
Right,
thing.
I don't like
Right.
hush puppies.
Yeah, the
Don't tell
breading.
me what I don't like.
The breading.
Close to a hush puppy.
But he's saying the breading. He doesn't like the breading.
close
Whatever
to a
that.
hush
It's
puppy
not all
breading.
made out of crab. And obviously,
There's like something they put in there to keep it together.
There's nothing a hush puppy and a crab cake have in common.
they're fried and they're batter, and one of them
Right.
they add crab to it.
There's not.
Anyway, I see how you would compare the two, Lazlo. I think
Thank
there's
you.
some love. But this guy
course.
didn't die because the crab cake was
Just keep
actually
the
just
boots
fish
on.
cake.
Shut up.
This guy died because the food was so hot. I didn't know that this could happen. This guy died after eating fish cake that was so hot it burned his throat. Okay, and I thought, well, it burned his throat. How does that kill you? Apparently, if you eat something so hot that it burns your throat that badly, your throat can swell and you can stop breathing. It says that his voice box swelled up after he ate the food.
Yeah. Now I'm really. Why did you do that?
Before his condition
I
became
told you my
worse and
throat
worse.
was swelling,
And then he choked
Why
to
would you
death.
do that? I told you my throat was swelling. I don't have my kids this weekend. You know, one of my fears is that I just die on a Friday night and nobody finds me till Wednesday.
It says that he was given a fish cake to try by a chef at a wedding venue at around 12 p.m., but the food burned the back of his throat,
That's a lawsuit.
causing him to visit urgent care, and the pain grew worse and worse. So it's not like he sat there and just choked immediately.
Urgent care get that figured out?
He had difficulty breathing and swallowing due to the extreme pain and swelling. The damage to his throat was so far down it could not be seen without special equipment. The pathologist who performed the autopsy said that the symptoms were normally seen in people involved in house fires.
They can't give him a trach?
They said that, well, I don't think they knew at the time what was happening to him. Like, he choked.
What happened to me?
They said it normally happens, you would see it on
worst.
someone who goes into a house fire and breathes in hot fumes and smoke.
Okay.
And it just,
I'm gonna
he ate
die.
a fish cake. And
I'm
it
going to
killed
die
him.
this weekend.
So, man, be
Like
careful.
if you're struggling
I'm gonna die this
to breathe,
weekend.
trach eventually.
Be careful with that food. Be careful with that hot food.
God damn.
Yeah.
I'm going to die this weekend.
My
Put
rubber.
these away.
You gonna point on the drink, boss? Point on the drink.
What'd she tell you to put away? Your Smokies?
We haven't even had sex yet.
Well, she's saying put these away. Save those for later. Right?
I think she's bossy.
Do you ever get anxious from... Look, you get anxious about ALS. Now you think you have cancer. Do you ever smoke a cigarette and go, God, why am I doing this? It's going to kill me. Like, do you get anxious as you're putting it out? Like, I wish I
When
hadn't
my
had
throat
that
hurts like it
cigarette?
does now.
Oh, but you're still smoking today, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've already got throat cancer, so it's not like I can turn that around by quitting
Yeah,
real quick.
True.
You're not.
It's 2 packs.
You're just sick.
Fish cake.
Maybe.
It's a cold.
Really?
I want some crab cake now.
He shouted, so I ran upstairs. He stood up, and he was choking on coffee, and I banged on the floor. I did not know you could die from eating something that was too hot.
I think, keep the boots on.
You think what?
Nothing.
Oh.
I didn't realize the mic was on over here. I apologize.
Did I ever ask what music video he was in?
No. Yeah, you did.
Jason?
Oh, you know what? I didn't. I'll ask him now. You guys want to stall?
Well, I mean, I can pour myself another drink.
It's too bad you can't smoke in here, huh?
Yeah.
God.
Snowcone, have you ever heard the story of Josh Homme?
Wouldn't that be great? Smoke, right, yeah.
You smoke in here?
Yeah, what did he say to you guys? Like,
he didn't say it to us. It was actually somebody else. And they said, you can't smoke in the building. And he said, okay, well then I can't do this interview. This is a long interview. Because he was using the studio to do like something overseas after we interviewed him.
Okay.
We had some sort of deal where they were going to use the studio or something. He was like, I can't sit in here. And so he just started smoking and no one stopped him.
There's a few people
the whole
who get
hallway
that
smelled
pass.
like smoke. It was
Oh,
amazing.
this guy. Hey, text line says, this is the best Church of Lazlo ever. They're 23 years old and listening from an AA meeting.
How are you listening from an AA meeting?
I don't know. I must have it in, one of those rooms.
It's not AA approved. This isn't literature that's approved by
It must be one of those, what do they call them, where people hang out?
Do you think it's because I'm here?
No.
Oh, well, why would you get that text today?
Well, you're right, maybe. You think it's because Susie's here?
Maybe.
Or do you think it's because we have good whiskey? This is the best Church of Lazlo in a while. Listen every day. I'm 23 and listening from AA. Keep it up. And take that shot for me.
AA. All right.
I just poured one. I've been to AA meetings, man.
Remember this song?
It works if you work it. Remember it? Aren't they in town? Is Fitness in town today?
Oh, that's right. It's
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Are they in
You're
town?
right.
Look it up.
When is that? Did we
Where's
dismiss
Ken?
it or
Why
is it
didn't we
happening?
have Kenny Carkeet in? Why didn't we have him in?
I don't know.
I told Swim Festival we'll can do it.
Oh, yeah, sure
He
you
said to
did.
F off and...
Sure you did.
Yeah.
So anyway, you remember this song. Look.
Of course I remember it.
Watch the very end here.
Is
You ready?
he in there?
Watch. That's him. Did you see that?
No.
That was him. Look. Watch the very end. That's him.
Right there?
Yeah, he walks by at the very end. Hold on.
He doesn't have a... Yeah, it's a girl.
Hold on.
Is that the video where he's in the diner and it's raining out?
Maybe
That's a girl.
Yeah, it's a girl.
Hold on. He walks by here at some point. Okay, he hadn't walked by yet. That's him.
Okay.
That's him right there with the umbrella. That was him. That was him.
How would you
Isn't
know
that
he has
cool?
a hat on?
Isn't that cool? No, he's not wearing a hat. He's got an umbrella.
Semi-sonic.
It's an umbrella. Boom.
They're
That's him.
playing the
In the trench
Riot
coat.
Room on Sunday.
Oh, so they're not in town tonight.
They're playing the Riot Room Sunday.
Right.
Yeah. But see, wait for it. There he goes. That's him. Man, how awesome would that be, huh?
I gotta see.
I mean, you're immortalized at that point. You're in a music video. Yeah. Surprised you didn't know that.
I didn't know. You can't see him.
You can see him. Don't give me that. I saw him. I would have spotted him. He didn't have to tell me that he was in that music video. I called him and said, was that you? he was like, yeah.
No way.
It was me.
Shut up.
I'm serious. You can tell. Snow Cone
No,
walks
you
into
did.
the
That
video.
song came out like 20 years ago.
That doesn't mean I
know
listen
the
to it
video.
anymore.
You didn't know him 20 years ago?
Yeah, but I've listened to it since
Oh, I
then,
see.
obviously.
Okay, you know what? All right.
No, you cannot buy that.
No, but it makes sense. My logic was flawed there. He could have seen the video for the first time in the last 5 years.
Or
and
for
then
the
called
100th time. And I saw it, and I said, wait a second. Look who that is.
Wait, is that the very
I
end?
know that guy. Yeah, carrying an umbrella. That's him.
Let me look.
He still has the same haircut.
He does.
Yeah.
That's why I said this guy stole your haircut.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That kind of hunched over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Jason.
Hiding from the rain. So, there you go.
Well.
I know someone sort of famous.
Have you ever been to an AA meeting?
Yes. Been to a lot of them. Why?
Just curious.
They never played the radio. I know. I remember that.
No, they used to play. Don't you ever? Do you ever have? They have a certain place where like you can go in the back to the meeting, or you can go out in the front, and they have like coffee and a radio and jukebox, maybe a pool table. You know.
Oh, we never had like that. We would smoke out front, and then there was an area downstairs where people could sit and casually talk and not have to worry about like a sponsor hearing you talk about something that you shouldn't or triggering someone.
They're called something, and they have like it looks like a bar, only there's no
room,
beer.
like a rec room area or something.
They're called something in AA.
I never
He texted back, said he's on the back porch with his phone listening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've been to my fair share of AA meetings.
I did one time. I did the 90 and 90, and then I kept going. And my ex-wife, who's my wife at the time, she says, "Haven't you done 90 of these?" And I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "I thought you were only going to go every single day for the first 90 days." And I said, "Well, you want to be sure and at least go." And she goes, "But you've been going, I don't know, for like 4 months now, every single day, like right when you get home from work." And I was like, "Yeah." And she goes, "How long?" I was like, "I don't know. Just until I feel comfortable." You know what I mean? And she's like, "Okay, but I like to get out of the house."
Yeah.
And you can't get mad
go
at
to
someone.
AA
You can't
meetings?
get mad at someone for going to AA. You cannot. You can't say like, "Why are you always going to AA? Do you go because I'm not there?" You can't say that.
It's a really good excuse too, and you can also if you come home late,
yeah,
you can be like,
I was talking to my
this person
sponsor.
needed help.
Yeah, I was talking to my sponsor. We went and got a drink.
Right. Well, you can say that a lot.
Yes, you can't.
And then the other thing is, if it's your wife, or you're saying that you were married, you can be
Yeah.
like, "What are you talking about?" Well,
it's personal. It's
it's
private.
personal, which then makes them think, "Oh my God, he's going to AA because of me." Right? He's trying to get better, and I'm the worst. If you lay that on him, you can do just about anything you want for a couple of years.
Yep. I tried to get her to go to Al-Anon meetings while I was at home, but
Don't do that.
couldn't get her to work.
Don't do that. You know what they talk about there? Like tough love and stuff. That's the last thing you want.
Loser I am. And
Right, like if he's in jail, you got to let him sit in jail. No. The last thing you want is your wife or your mother to go to an Al-Anon meeting. That is no.
You know the thing I
I'll
miss.
say, if you go to an Al-Anon meeting, I'll kill myself.
The thing I miss about being
Don't listen to those people. They're crazy people, for Christ's sakes.
The thing
They've
I
lost
miss
their
most-
minds.
The thing I miss most about being sober is going to the meetings. I liked going to the meetings.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was fun.
And the people are nice. They have good
If you
stories.
find a good meeting, you got to find a good place. There were places I went to where I was like, I do not like this place. But I used to go to the one on Unity, or, in Unity on the plaza, and I thought that place was great.
I went to
loved
one
going there.
time, and when I showed up, it was an all-women's meeting. I didn't know that, and so I was like, oh, goddamn. And so I started turning around and
My
leave, and they
lucky
said,
day.
no, you can go. Come on in, it's fine. It was a mistake on your part. I sat down, and you know who was there?
You're not allowed to say. You're not allowed to say. You cannot say.
You'd be crazy to find out
Okay,
who
well,
was
then
there.
tell me off the air who was there.
The Church of Lazlo. 96.5 The Buzz.